Welcome back to the Daily Discussion. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue another phrase or quote that's supposed to be somewhat motivational or inspirational that I just don't agree with anymore. I just found a better perspective. And it's to stay on top of things. So you hear this a lot in business or something with your job where they're like, let's stay on top of this, make sure it doesn't become a bigger problem. But here's the issue with that, is that all you do is end up getting in this self-perpetuating cycle where you spend more time trying to solve problems over and over again, especially the same problem. And you're staying on top of it, yes, so it doesn't become a huge problem, but then you don't actually make very much progress because you spend most of your time trying to solve these minor problems on a regular basis. Where I had this come up the most for my life was with my medical issues, where the doctors kept saying, hey, let's go ahead and stay on top of this, we'll continue treating the symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And eventually the symptoms got to a point where they're effectively untreatable because they got so bad. Now, here's the different perspective that I have of this now. Instead of staying on top of things, you should work to get to the bottom of the crux of the issue in the beginning. So if you're continuously having the same problem over and over again, you haven't figured out what the actual problem is then. So yes, you're treating the symptoms, but the problem is not clearly what you're addressing. There is something else there that you need to get to the bottom of, and if you fix that, all those other problems that come up from that solve themselves. So you spend less time in problem solving mode and more time in creative mode. And the same thing goes for medical. If you haven't actually figured out what the real problem is, then you're actually not solving the problem. You're just staying on top of symptoms as they come up. And that actually goes for even with something that looks like it could be the problem, say something like cancer. Well, why did the cancer start in the first place? Yes, the cancer is the ultimate disease, and you're staying on top of the symptoms and things with that. But what caused it in the first place? If you haven't got to the bottom of that, even if you fix that problem now, there's a good chance it comes back. So think of it this way now, like I said, try to get to the bottom of things rather than trying to stay on top of them. And I think that'll better suit you in the long term. Let me know what you think.